Welcome to the Eighth Wheel Podcast. This is episode 15. Tonight, we're going to talk about themes from 2001. Also, we're going to talk about how I was able to turn myself around from my hokey pokey addiction.
What's up, guys? Mardi Gras Man 23 here, and I am once again on Brick Train's channel. It's another episode of the Eighth Wheel Podcast. So I'm Earl. We've got Joey over here. One of these days, I'm going to learn these directions.
Wait, you're over there.
Joey's over here, Brick Trains, and down below we have the man who holds the world's record for the amount of tipper trucks in one household. He has got so many of them. He has single-handedly raised the part price. The one and only Jabbo,
yes,
aka Brickstar.
Now I need some gravel.
You know, you did fool me with that voiceover. I got about halfway through the video because I wasn't really watching. I was cooking.
Yeah.
And then you said, "Do you think I'm talking while I'm building?" I was like, I did.
I was in the chat for the premiere, and I thought I watched it for 5 minutes before I figured out what was going on, that you were in the chat but not actually talking. I was like, wait, I'm confused.
I thought about doing a premiere, which is, if people don't know, that's a pre-recorded video that you schedule to start at a certain time, and then you can be in the chat with everybody. And y'all all watch it together, and nobody can skip it. And so I thought about doing a premiere and then pretending like record it ahead of time as if it was a live stream and pretend like I'm responding to the chat.
Well, you did pretty good there. You got me for a while.
There were a lot of people that thought it was live.
I kind of like the premiere because as a content provider like you did, you can concentrate on the chat, which is part of why I don't want to say I don't like live streams, because that's not true. I watch a lot of live stream stuff. I don't participate. Sorry, Julian, but it splits my attention, and I'm kind of simple. You guys get me enough confused.
Yeah, there's
and I confuse myself. So
yeah, I listen to a radio show that's on YouTube, and there's a chat. And there's the radio show. It's the Pat McAfee show. And if you're reading the chat, it's just everybody watching, going back and forth, not even paying attention to the radio show.
Right.
And
and that can happen on a lot of YouTube videos too. The chat will have a whole different discussion than what the person's talking about, and then they're not. With the Lego community, if you're building something, it's hard to either build and watch the chat. You're going to lack on something. That's why I don't do the building streams.
Yeah.
That's even worse. That's split my attention 3 ways. That's a good way for me to build a tipper truck wrong, is to try to build it while I'm in a live chat.
Yeah.
So, I don't think we could raise the price on the set we're going to talk about tonight, because there ain't none for sale.
Hasn't been one. Well, if there has been one for sale, I haven't seen it since I bought mine.
Have you found it? Have you found yours yet?
No, I haven't found it yet. I don't know where it's not even that long ago. I remember it being in a box, but it's packed away in a box somewhere now. So,
you found yours.
So
this is all I have.
Oh, that's all.
That's the most valuable part.
Well, find me a box and a set of instructions.
Okay. Yeah. So I want to ask you something, since you're good with certain things. I don't know if you're good with this. One of the questions I got on the video talking about that was, actually, a guy sent me something. He wants to make a 3D copy of the steering wheel.
Right. Where are you at? There you are.
So how do you mold something? He wanted the dimensions of that. That's why I'm looking for it.
You have to get the one of those little measurement things like Adam Savage uses, where it's kind of like a
caliper.
You squeeze it down and it tells you to the exact millimeter or centimeter.
Fraction even of a millimeter.
Yeah.
Well, here you go. It's that many dots wide. Right there.
Yeah.
That's as close as I'm getting. I was actually looking for a tape measure. I was going to hold a tape measure up to it, but it's really, I guess it really is only about 5 dots wide.
Mm-hmm.
But
I wonder if they use the same logic they do with everything else, where there is a reason it's the width that it is.
Ooh,
Or
back
they just,
then, I don't know.
was this a Samsonite only product?
Well, it only came out in the United States. As far as I know, it's only came out in the United States. So, yeah, it's a possibility that it is a Samsonite only. But I don't know if Samsonite made it, right? Because they didn't make a lot of specialty pieces.
Mm-hmm.
And there is no doubt this is a specialty piece.
So I'm looking at the picture, and it's the steering wheel mechanism that you have sits on a control box. Is that the battery box?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's this.
So you see the contacts on the battery box?
Yeah, there's contacts there.
And then if you look at your, those touch. And then the electricity is conducted through the... Yeah, there you go.
Building stream. See how bad I'm doing?
Very good.
I'm not blue, so I'm not pushing on it.
Yeah, it's just both of them get all breaking on stream here. And then it's a mechanical steering in there. It's just like a spring or something, and it goes up, or a wire.
Spring. I can't even stick anything to it. So if I turn it,
yeah, there you go.
Get rid of the battery box. If I turn it,
it turns the little.
Yeah, as soon as I let go, it springs back.
Mm-hmm.
So do you have just the steering wheel, Chavo, or do you have everything?
Well, I got the steering wheel and the instructions and the box for 312, which was the standalone, just the control unit.
Uh-huh.
And then I pieced together all of the rest of the parts for 311, which is you can build a car or a truck, at least. There might have been a third model. I think it was just a 2.
It shows 3 on the box. It shows a red car, more like a moving van, and a blue car.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I'll pull it up.
I mean, it's a truck, but it's probably a cargo truck. It looks to me like a moving van.
So we did build the big truck. Oh yeah, the red car I have not built. I built the blue truck with the red trim, and then I really like that blue car. Those 1x1s that make the wheel well, they like to fall off.
I was gonna say, I bet there's no clutch power there now.
I wish I had the box for that set.
So, let's see. Let me stop. Well, hang on. Let me show. Here is the 1970 JCPenney catalog, and it is pictured right there. I don't know if I can zoom in on that any or
I'd be
not.
placing a rather large order if there were no quantity limits.
You think they'll still honor it?
$3.99 for the box, the thing. And look at the picture.
Well, that's not. Did you see me pointing at it? That's not the.
No, I'm talking about to the left. That's set 310.
Yeah, that's the motorized truck set. Yes.
And this 312 is the little box to the left.
Right, just that part there.
Yeah, and it's black.
And it's black. Yes. Look, they also have the power cable to it, and we know you don't need to do that. So they got the power
weird.
cable. And am I wrong, or is that truck base blue? Would that not have been red? Should that not have been red?
Yeah, this has to be a prototype.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Oh, it's a black modified it. I just ran across this picture today. This is the first time I've
never seen this picture until you showed it to me.
Yeah. I should have looked.
I got very interested in something else on that page, the base plates.
Base plates?
Did the bottom of the page. You can buy 2 for $4 or $3.50. 2 for $3.50. The 078 base plate.
So that
Yep.
was $350 for two, but how much was the steering wheel? Was it $399?
$399. Yeah.
What a bargain!
What a bargain.
I mean, what do you think if somebody was to put one with the box, that control unit in the box on eBay? What do you think we would bid it up to?
If it had the box, oh, I'd say we'd probably be north of $500.
Yeah,
Are you
it's been
asking
on my wanted list.
for it, or what would it end up being?
Oh, well, I wouldn't bid 500, but I'm sure it would get up
I
to
would
there.
say it would go over 500. Yeah, and I don't know that I would. Yeah, I don't know if I'd bid on it or not. It'd have to be a really good box and set of instructions.
So where did you find your control unit?
You know what? I don't know where it came from. I think it came with a bulk lot of Samsonite stuff because early
That's
on
what
I was
I think.
buying a lot of Samsonite boxes and stuff in there. When we talked about it last time, you don't really find that stuff on eBay anymore, but you used to 4 or 5 years ago, even you would see a lot of that. And I believe that's where it came. And I think it sat in that lot for a long time. And before I even found it in there, it was one of those things I wanted the boxes out of it. And I didn't really scavenge through the parts. And then a few years later, I scavenged through the parts and was like, what is this? And it's like, oh. So yeah.
Needless to say, that'll pay for that whatever that lot was.
Sure, yeah. Well, and I'm sure whatever was in the lot that I went after, I got what I wanted out of it. This was just bonus. And I've got tubs of CA bricks that are useless. So
yeah.
Usually
and whenever I buy one of those lots, I'm looking for the parts that aren't just the standard bricks because those are they're not even if they're in good condition, they're no more valuable than today's bricks.
Yeah, in fact, they're probably less. I'm sure there's some people out there that will collect them, but as soon as they have one, they're going to realize they don't need more than one. It's like, oh yeah, that lumpy, warped.
They don't age well.
They don't. No.
And so the one I got in a bulk lot, and then I was when I used to shop Goodwill regularly. There was a bulk lot that had the box for $312, and I was like, boom, I got that. I'm getting that. That's all it was the box.
Just the box.
Just the box. And there was others. I mean, there were a ton of other vintage things in there,
right.
But I didn't know. I was hoping I was getting a second control unit, but there was nothing.
Yeah, I remember that hall.
I haven't seen one on eBay. I haven't seen. I mean, obviously, Bricklink. I didn't check Brickowl. I'm assuming there's nothing.
Usually, if there's a rare part, if it's not on Bricklink, it's not on Brickowl.
Yeah.
That's the one thing. That's why I don't shop on Brickowl. There's nothing on there for me.
Yeah, I've never had any really good luck there. So yeah, this is boy, we covered that one pretty quick.
Well, it's a to me that's a novelty set. It's like, yeah, no kid today would want a toy like that. That would be a cheap toy. But it's one of those things with Lego where something can be so rare, even though it's quite lame. Just the rareness of it makes it a collectible, and it's one that I don't think a lot of people even know exists still.
Yeah, and it's only going to be. It's rare. It's a novelty. You said that, but is it really valuable? It's only valuable if there's more people than us wanting it, right? And we won't have one, so.
Well, that's the thing. Probably by you and I owning it, that makes it easier for somebody else to get it.
That's true.
Because if we didn't own it and we saw it, we
yeah.
Like to rattle. Well, so are we going to go ahead and talk about 2001?
That was a good movie. Probably one of the best movies ever.
I really like that
time period.
Yeah.
Came out the year I was born. Is that what we're talking about?
69? Did it come out in 69?
68. 68.
Oh, you're okay. Yeah. I was born in 69.
Yeah, they landed on the moon, and
Yep, I was born in May, and they did that in July, so I remember it well. Not even a little bit. No, I was thinking about 2001, A Lego Odyssey. The year that was saved, right?
Yeah.
Or so says the Bionicle people.
Yeah. So the reason I want to talk about 2001, yeah, that's the year that Bionicle started. And according to Bionicle fans everywhere, that's the theme that saved Lego single-handedly with no help from anybody else. And it didn't matter what other products they made because it was only Bionicle that saved Lego. Did I sum it up correctly?
Yeah, I think you got it right there.
Yeah. Yep.
So
a little space opera movie had nothing to do with
no.
No.
Speaking of the space opera, you remember what Obi-Wan said to Luke there? He's like, before the dark times. These were the dark times.
These were the dark times. Yeah.
So,
Lego had a lot of problems then.
Lego Bionicle was the best theme that didn't suck as bad as other themes. Let's look at some of the juggernauts it was going up against.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Would you rather a Bionicle set or a Jack Stone set?
Yeah. There were some really good Belleville sets in 2001. But the Jack Stone line was quite extensive, though, I'll have to say.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull it back up again.
And it did have a movie that went with it, too.
Yeah, I mean, come on. They had a lot of stuff for Jack Stone.
I think Lego's problem was they were trying to do too much to find something that was, I mean, look, you had Belleville and you had Scala and you had Jack Stone all going on at the same time.
Have you ever seen these racers that it was from that same year? The racers, the little, they're about the Hot Wheels car size racers.
They look like Hot Wheels.
Yeah, it's all like 2 or 3 pieces, and it's like
it's funny you said that because there is one sitting on my desk somewhere, and I've covered it up, and I don't know where it's at, and I didn't even plan that. It just happens to be one sitting there. That's crazy.
One of the things that I know Joey and I liked, I don't know, Earl, the studio theme.
Right. 2000.
Yeah.
They had all those poly bags that came out, the Coca-Cola poly bags that came out that year.
Which is why they released 46 sets. And I'm guessing there were 6 minifigs, maybe.
Yeah.
they love to reuse them.
Yeah.
And probably one of the most sought after minifigures ever definitely the most sought out Studios figure, I think, came out in one of those poly bags, or 2 of those.
Yeah.
I didn't realize. I thought it was only in 1. I didn't realize it was in 2 till you did your recap.
Right. The Nesquik bunny.
And the car, the one that's on the car, that looks like one of those racer cars.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I forgot there were 3. 3 with the head.
3 with the head. Yes. Yeah. Let's see if I can hang on. We'll bring him up here.
So they even had there was even a Marvel superhero set in 2001. There was a Disney set in 2001. I wonder if that Prince of Persia counts. There was one Prince of Persia set. I wonder if that counts as a Disney set.
Wait, in 2001?
Yeah, am I in the wrong? Let me see what this one is. No, I got it has 2001 in the.
That was the set number.
Number, yeah.
It has 2001 in the set number.
So 2001 they had 400 sets.
Which theme had the most sets?
Studios, 46.
There was the poly bags.
Yeah, which was then followed by and there were lots of reused minifigures, the lights. There was a lot. There was not as much there as far as I guess they just repackaged a lot of stuff, and you got a lot of different packages. But so 2001, they had 403 sets. 2000, they only had 379. It looked like this was where they really started growing in set numbers. And then it kind of trailed off all the way up to 2005 when it went back down to about 398 sets released.
So you know what happened in 2005? That's when the real change happened. Bionicle started in 2001. What did they do in 2005?
What did they do in 2005? So you're going to ask history here. I give. What did they do? They released 26 Star Wars sets.
They introduced some major changes. And this, I don't ever hear anybody talking about this, at least on YouTube, because I think a lot of the ones on YouTube are in the younger generation or they're AFOLs that started later. But I remember it was quite a controversy in 2004. I know of at least one person that almost quit Lego, and it's when they changed the colors.
Oh, is this the same time when they reduced the part count?
Yes.
Okay.
That was the whole thing. Reduce the colors, do colors that are more appealing.
Yeah.
And I can kind of see it now. I didn't see it then, but the grays, they do look kind of dirty compared to new grays today.
Yep.
So they did some like testing, product, whatever you call it, where you get people to tell you what they think is better.
Product testing, yeah.
So they reduced the number of colors in different elements and the number of elements.
Yeah.
And that is what saved Lego, not Star Wars, not Bionicle. Those were the best-selling themes in a dark time, but what saved them was cutting down their production costs.
This is the time that they pretty much completely automated the system too. I think prior to that, it was a lot more hands-on. I think they reduced their head count too. I mean, the company was going under bad. So, automation, reduced colors, reduced parts. It's harder to get a new part. It's harder to get a new part in a new color even. So,
yeah. So those were major changes in 2001, and when you look at the years around that, they were making a lot of garbage. And I can understand the people that are into Bionicle, and that is cool. It's cool that if people like that, that is awesome. And I'm always for Lego trying new things. And a lot of times they try things that don't last. Sometimes there's things that you like and that they don't last. But
right.
I remember when Bionicle came out, and I'm like, oh man, here we go again. When Jack Stone came out, I was like, when they had we in the community were calling some of the stuff juniors before they started calling it juniors.
Right.
Because it was just like the city sets were just like terrible.
And they're getting worse today. Those junior sets today.
You talk about the stuff that was bad. So 2000 was also the year of Scala. I mean, you talk about some creepy looking dolls.
Yeah. So I collect things like that for not because it was a great theme, because it was weird.
Because yeah.
Right.
No, it's unique. There's probably a limited source of it now because what didn't sold. Who knows what happened to it? If it obviously got clearanced out. So,
have you seen the Duplo dolls that came out around that time?
They were soft dolls.
They were. You're
not talking about
large. They weren't like minifigures. I don't think they were soft. So you had clothes that you could put on them, like so the 2951, 2952. Those were some of the sets. 2953.
Let me get back to the top here and I'll show a picture of it. Oh, okay. I see. Yeah.
There's some they can appear rather creepy, especially if you put them up against a regular minifigure. This doesn't really show the scale.
Do you have some of those?
I do.
Duplo dolls.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah, I've never seen those.
So, and they were doing, and so, you know, people talk about Belleville, the weird stuff. There were a ton of these in 2001.
2001, yeah. There's, what is there, 6 sets there?
And that's just in Duplo. There were,
Yeah.
and Duplo also had like the Winnie the Pooh stuff.
Now, I like Winnie the Pooh, so.
Wait, did Brickbuster come out this year too?
Yeah, I think it did.
See, that was all about trying to find something, find the niche, you know.
Well, this is, I think that, and I'm gonna talk out of hand here, but I think this is when Lego was trying to be more than the brick. They were trying to be they wanted the Lego name to be what was associated with toys in general.
Right. They wanted to be a brand.
Yeah, instead of just
They wanted to be a brand.
right. They wanted to beat out Mattel. They wanted to beat out all, you know, they wanted to beat out all the toys, you know. So, and they literally forgot what they were. They're a Lego. They're a building block system, and
I think they kind of, at times, even today, they stray away from that. Although,
yes,
I can understand why they try to get into technology with the Lego brick, but
well, you know, they had some success with the education stuff, but
I'm calling it right now. And I maybe I'll be wrong, and people can come back and call me out for this, but there's a theme that hasn't been for sale yet, but it's going to fail, and that's video. It's a guaranteed failure.
the new one that they're yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
I didn't see that. What is it?
It's TikTok for Lego bricks.
Oh,
yeah,
It's taking some features kind of like you have with Mario and with the hidden side, where you can arrange your tiles in a certain way and make little short videos that you can put on a platform that nobody will want to use, because they forget the reason why people use TikTok. They don't want the control. They don't want the family friendly constraint. I mean, I'm all for it being family friendly.
right.
People are not going to use the platform that Lego's going to provide, and they're going to have to shut it down. And the people that put content on that platform are going to be disappointed at that point. Just like we were with every other platform that they started that has later had to be shut down.
They're if they've done anything, they have proven they are not a technology company as far as apps and websites and games. And although I guess, well, they were probably not involved in making some of the games for like the Xbox, PlayStation, where it's like the little minifigs have done well as far as I know, and I have several of them when we play them. But my guess is Lego doesn't probably handle those. Somebody else probably handles it for them, and they're just licensing out the images and stuff. But I think they were kind of bolstered by the movies being so good that they, you know, felt like they could probably branch out again. Here we are again. We have shirts and shoes, and what else are we going to do?
Oh, speaking of that, I just want to, it's like a public service announcement. Never check your email at 3 a.m, because I had an email and it was from Levi Strauss. And so Levi and Lego have that collaboration.
Right.
And I get collaboration requests or sponsorships requests a lot. And I always turn them down. But so I was like, oh, this would definitely work. because I thought that was what it was related to. So I read it, and then I replied, and then I got the reply back in the morning. Then I really read it, and I was like, this makes no sense, because it was like, we want to send you $2,000 worth of product, and all you got to do is, put it in a video, talk about it in a video for 7 minutes. And then when the reply came back from them, it was, the date was in Russian.
Oh.
So I was like, and then I looked at the web address for Levi Strauss, and it was .online instead of .com. And I was like, okay, this is a scam. Because what they were going to do is send me a link.
Right.
And then have me go buy stuff, and then I'd be, But so my reply back was, how is it in Russia today? And I never got another response from them.
Well, heck, $2,000 worth of merchandise. Was that 3 pairs of pants?
There's no way that Levi or Lego would send me $2,000. Just, okay, here you go. Here's $2,000 worth of stuff. There would be like terms and conditions, and you'd have to sign things. And it would. Yeah, they would never do that to just some rent. And it wasn't, get this, it wasn't even to my Brick Czar channel. It was to my original channel.
Oh my goodness.
Was that one you went to sleep on thinking one thing and you woke up?
I was like, this is something I can actually agree to. And then I read it and I was like, oh, it's a scam. And that's what happened with the Scooby-Doo box that you got, Joey.
Yeah.
Everybody thought it was a scam at first.
Really?
Yeah, Just Too Good thought it was a scam. But he ended up writing them back and say, oh yeah, I do want that. Yeah, they sent that out to quite a few people.
So how do those work? They just send you an email asking you to basically just Huh.
And so sometimes they expect more in return. So they'll be like, you talk about it for this long or in however many videos. But most of the time with those things, with those boxes, like the Ninjago box that some got, they just like, do you want to promote this? Here, share this on your social media. And they just pretty much no strings attached, but just do something with it.
Yeah. Well, those would be the ones that I would think would be.
Have you figured out how you got the Lego Masters Gold box?
No, that one made no sense to me. I need to do a follow up on that because it's the rarest thing I own. There's only 3 of them in existence that I know of.
I would say
another one.
Yeah, we talked about those. So you talk about emails. I got today. I got 2 emails from Lego Ideas, and I don't know. Maybe everybody got them. I don't know.
I got the same too.
What's up with that? Why?
I don't know.
So
yeah, I read it like you read it like I put my vote in for the one of the 3 or whatever. I think that's what it's for. But the response, you read it like it's like I submitted an idea set, and I was like, no, that's because when you read it at first, that's what it looks like.
Yeah, I thought, well, I didn't submit an idea, and then I got to reading it, and after I read it some more, it's like, well, wait, did they just now approve my vote now that it's closed?
Yeah, that's what I kind of. Maybe they're just now getting around to tallying them.
I didn't get it.
Right. That's part of the VIP program then.
So did y'all already vote?
Yeah, for the second time. For the second.
Okay.
The second vote, but I voted. How long ago has it been? A week.
It's been closed for a couple of weeks now.
Yeah.
Today was the last day to vote. The day that we're filming this. So y'all voted for the second round then,
right?
Yes.
Right.
Okay. But I didn't get these emails apparently that y'all got.
Yeah, they came from Lego Ideas, and it says, well, you know what? I didn't really dig into them real deep to see that they weren't scams, but if you got it, then I'd say that would be pretty random for both of us to get them. I'd say their computer kicked something out, and it was either way behind or somebody ran a script that said, oh, that was supposed to run a month ago, and I don't know, but
Oh.
I've kind of read it as they're just finally getting around the tally, or they're just starting to tally them. Or,
well, yeah, but we're already into round 2, and it was the first email I got was most definitely because it explained
Yeah,
you have 3 votes.
I didn't even read it that close.
Yeah, it talked about how you have 3 votes, go vote, and then your vote is actually it's like your idea was accepted. I was like, okay. I didn't know.
I didn't submit anything.
Yeah, that's why I thought it was a scam at first, because I thought somebody, was
Right.
hacking me.
Yeah.
I don't know why you'd hack me on Lego Ideas website.
Yeah, because I don't know.
So on the first round of that vote, Bionicle got 24,799 votes.
Yep.
Can I say one more thing? I mean, I don't want to harp on this too much.
Harp away. Because I feel the same way. I know what you're going to say.
Oh, do you?
Well, I have a good idea.
I do too.
So, how many people that like Castle voted for Castle?
Versus
What percentage of the people in the community that like Castle do you think voted for Castle?
Yeah.
Do you think let me put it this way, do you think everybody that liked Castle voted for Castle?
Maybe. But it was too diluted.
Well, and they had 3 votes.
How many people in the community even participated in the vote?
You brought up 2 points that one of them I hadn't thought about at all, but one of them was exactly what you said, is that if you're Bionicle, you're voting Bionicle. If you're Castle, you have 3 Castle themes to pick from, so those are spread out. If you like Space, Classic Space, and then there's all the other spaces. But what we didn't realize is if you could only vote for one, you didn't have to pick 3.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So the Bionicle people may have just voted for Bionicle.
Yeah. And they did, because the first round of vote, you could click on every single person that voted and see what they voted for. And my son, Jacob, he was like, he's the one that pointed it out to me. He's like, the Bionicle people are only voting for Bionicle. And it was making him mad because he was like, he was picking 3 things that he liked. And
Those darn millennials.
Yeah. And he's a millennial.
Well, he figured it out.
Yeah. And so this is the thing. I just like saying things that upset Bionicle fans. I don't mean nothing towards them. They're good people. I really like LJ Johnson. He's a super cool kid. But all of the Bionicle fans voted. All of them. They only got 24,799 votes.
Right.
Not all of the Castle fans voted.
Right.
And
so the diehard Castle fans probably voted Castle, and then some of their others, not just Castle. So,
yeah. And so now we won't be able to. In this last vote, you could only vote for 1.
Right.
So, and you could only pick from 4 things. I think I talk about this myself in one of my videos, but I think that the guy who made the list thought, okay, they had a boardroom meeting and they were like, okay, this is what we want, guys. We want, we're going to make everybody think that we're going to pick from one of these 30 themes, but what we really want is Castle or Pirates or Space to be in there. So let's give them more to choose from. And then one of those things will certainly win. If we got 8 Space themes and 8 Castle themes, then one of those has got to make it. So we'll have more of those options. And they didn't think that they were splitting the vote.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of, if you could see round 1 votes, but you won't see round 2 votes, they might already have the idea of what they want to do.
Yeah.
Because you know how that is.
They're setting themselves up for everybody can make conspiracy theories no matter what they do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I like a good conspiracy theory as the next person, but I know I work for a corporation that is probably twice the size of Lego, and they even said at one time, we ain't got time for silly crap like that. It is what it is. Whatever we said is what we said. And I've been in plenty of those meetings where you sit there and the meetings are so convoluted. It's hard to believe that any decision ever gets made.
Mm-hmm.
So I could see where they just probably flubbed it all up and didn't realize what they were doing by splitting all the castle up and stuff. Even if they do have a great set that they want to build already, I think they just flubbed it up. And
that's why they added Castle back in.
They did, yeah.
I'm not going to. I mean, I really think Castle's going to win just because I think more people will vote for that than Space.
Probably.
I would not have a problem if Bionicle won.
The thing about Castle's going to win right now with all the things all the TV shows that are going on. There's a lot of that medieval theme stuff going on. So I think that kind of brings that into forefront of people's consciousness. Doesn't seem to be as much space stuff going on. I mean, there's obviously always Star Wars and stuff, but there's a lot of those shows on TV and the internet that does the castle medieval theme thing. That's my opinion, but
I just think it's odd that they just did a big pirate set. They're fixing to do they actually did too. They did the creator pirate ship, the ideas pirate thing, and there's a castle supposedly planned.
There's a pirate ship. There's another pirate set everybody forgets, the roller coaster.
Oh yeah, pirate theme. That's right.
Yep. So, what do you think about being able to do the mosaics on Shop at Home now?
I saw that today. I was going to ask you that about it.
Did they list it on the website? Did they change the piece count?
I don't know. I don't know what the piece count was.
I didn't.
Yeah, it's listed on the website. You just go to Shop at Home.
Because I bought one of these.
Already
on the store. See it on the website.
You don't see it?
I'm gonna look. Mosaic Maker. It's out of. Wait, does this say out of stock? Oh, it's available. 6,002 pieces is what it says on the website.
Yep.
So I'm already preparing to complain. I hadn't even got it yet.
Why? How many pieces did you get?
If you go to Bricklink, I think it's going to have like roughly 1,500 of each of the 4 colors in the base plate. I think is what you get.
You said 6,000 pieces. The box says 4,000. Says 4,500.
4,502. The website says 6,000.
The box.
So I've already set this. It's bad that I've done this. Is like I've bought something so I can complain about it later.
So how does this one work?
There's an app you can actually go to now. Let me see if I can tell you what it's called.
Well, I know you can just do it from the website.
Yeah, you can do it on the website. But Mosaic Creator is an app that uses the same 4 colors. But yeah, so you buy the box and you submit your picture online, and
basically what you're going to do is get a set of instructions, right? I mean, the boxes are all going to be
digital. Right? Yeah, it's just going to be a box with the 4 colors of plates and a 48 by 48 base plate.
Right.
Oh, you're right. The box says 4,502, but the piece count says 6,002.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get my set. I'm going to open it. Hey, this thing has 6,000. And I wonder though if they changed it.
And then you're going to be on the phone with customer service for 3 hours trying to get them to.
Oh, I love calling customer service.
It used to be so easy. I hadn't called in a while, and you've mentioned calling and being on. I had a set that was on back order. When it finally came available, I had to update the payment because so I had to call in and then sit on hold for 45 minutes, but it was less than an hour. So.
So this whole mosaic thing. This was one of the things that me and Heather, my wife, were talking about taking the grandson or whatever and going to one of those stores. We're going to be in Florida this summer, hopefully. We're actually going to go to Legoland. So, that was one, because I think could you do it in the Florida store or not?
No, not well. The last time I went, you couldn't. They may have put one in since.
Yeah, I'd heard that it had been there or wasn't there, and so I don't know. It may not be there now, but I guess the Flatiron's the only one I know of for sure.
That's where we got ours.
Right. Well, that was going to be something that we wanted to do, something that we would go and do, and be kind of unique and all that. Now that there's nothing unique about it, and I've already uploaded a dozen pictures to it, trying to get something that looks good, and nothing looks good. I mean, it's terrible.
This is the thing I don't understand. Is that the sample pictures can look so good, the same number of pixels.
Right.
They only give you, when you go in person and do it, they give you like 4 chances.
Really?
And you got to pick the best of them. And I was like, this is ridiculous. It's like none of them were good.
Right.
And then I even came home and used this app to see if I could make a better one. It is so hard. I guess I'm ugly.
No, well, I mean, I was trying to take pictures of my grandson, and we can all say that my grandson's cute. So I couldn't get a good picture. Couldn't do it. I thought about just going into like Photoshop or whatever and reducing the colors and high contrast, trying to see if I could get it to do something. I haven't messed with that yet. I got sidetracked, started doing Tipper Truck Army logos. So.
Sorry about that.
Oh no! Hey, don't be sorry. I like it.
So, do you reckon these came out are being released like this because of the success of the Lego art?
I think they're trying to tie it to it. Yeah.
That, and they may not be able to use the machines at the stores that do have it.
Oh.
And they're trying to get rid of their stock.
Mm.
Interesting.
I hadn't thought of that. That because of the pandemic, that there's just not as many people in the stores.
Yeah, and I don't know if they would be allowed, or they would, like we can't go and pick on the pick-a-brick wall. They have to go pick. We can't fill the bags. They got to fill the bags for us on the minifigures. They may, since you got to sit in that booth.
Yeah,
want people sitting in the booth to get your picture.
That's a good point. I hadn't even thought of that. So somebody that's been to the Flatiron store, let us know. Can you get into the Mosaic? Do they have it open? Let us know in the comments.
I went there right before everybody destroyed it.
Oh, from the riots.
Yeah, so it was. I went in February before the pandemic, and then you had the pandemic, and then you had the riots, and they just totally destroyed that store.
Yeah,
it's really sad.
Yeah, that's what it looked like on the news I saw. So. We've been open for since the last.
Oh yeah, talk about.
Oh yeah. Let's talk about the Bricklink store.
I thought you had 4 the first right away. You had 4 sales right away.
Well, I think I'm up to about 20 sales, so it ain't bad.
Oh, that's
my minifigures are about gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I mean, that's what you expect.
Yeah.
A store our size, you expect, maybe 3 or 4 orders a week.
And that seems like that's where we're at now. I think this week we got 2 orders today, but we hadn't had any orders for like the last 3.
That's you might go 5 or 6 days with nothing, and then the next 3 days you get 3.
Yeah.
Or 4. It's kind of.
And that's actually that works for me now. Heather's she's taken to this like a duck to water. I'm gonna tell you, because she's already like, okay, well, we need to get some of these Star Wars sets because those minifigs are this much, and they're like, I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I saw you went to. Was it her taking a picture, or you took a picture? You went to Walmart and just bought some stuff at regular price.
Yep.
Or it was on sale, but it wasn't. Like
it was. Yeah, everything was twice the price, but a lot of it was, most of the return on it was going to be in your minifigs. Right. Not all of it, and we haven't even parted those out. We're still parting out older sets that she just parted out. You remember those? Oh, Jabbo, remember those globes, the plastic globes for Star Wars? They had all the little planets.
Oh, yeah.
I have like one of each, and except for like 2 or 3, I was missing 2 or 3, and so I just decided, you know what? But those figs, the little R2D2 is like $9 or something.
Yeah. So those things have actually, they've started to go up in value. I knew something was going on when people started actually buying the spheres, the sphere halves. So
yeah, I haven't put any of those in the store.
You wouldn't think they would sell, but I actually did have people start buying them.
Does it have anything to do with the Mandalorian?
That's a good thought. I don't know.
I didn't even put those in yet.
Oh.
Because I have one.
I don't know if I've sold those or not. I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't want to take the drawer up for one piece that I know is probably not going to go nowhere. Because I had
336, I think, of the.
You had
40 of the Tatooine.
I mean, the most I've ever bought is a buggy load. I can't imagine you going to.
It wasn't me. It was my wife. So I'm so proud of her. She was in the store and she's like, they've marked these down and they got a ton of them. And she sent me a picture and they filled up 2 buggies just with the Battle of Naboo.
Well, I mean, it makes it, when you got that many, that makes it pretty easy parting out.
So I parted out 3 advent calendars and then I found 3 more. Before I had parted them out, but I hadn't put them in the store. So I added it to. Those are the most pain in the behind things to part out that I've ever seen. 24 little bags in each one.
They can get they can build some really cool little things out of 1 and 2 piece or 1 and 2 stud pieces. That's all it's in those things.
You have to think about it though, because some of those are worth more just as the little bag than like the whole value. Like if you parted the whole set, it's going to be worth more than what you paid for the set. But if you just sell those 24 bags, that might be more than the pieces sometimes.
I didn't even look at that because these were about. I think I paid 11 for the first 3.
Oh, you're paying that little for it,
and 13 for the second 3, and they parted out for like 48, I think. So I didn't even look at that.
You get the figures, you're going to get all your money back.
Yeah.
So we parted out some sets, and there were some that were still in the stock room. We put everything in stock room A, right? That's not been put up into a drawer. Well, me and her were working on different things, so I was physically parting these out into drawers, and she was going through the computer and putting things away. And she got to one, and she's like, "We have a problem." I said, "What?" She said, "This part, it's saying these parts are in the store." I said, "Okay." So she said, "There's no remark."
Oh, no.
I was like, "I don't know." And for the longest time, I mean, it was probably 15, 20 minutes where we debated. Married couple debating, you say what you want there, as trying to figure out what we had done wrong. And finally it dawned on me, hey, does it say they're in the stock room? She goes, yeah, it does say it's in the stock room. So then it's on the table.
Okay, yeah. You didn't have a drawer yet.
So then it was so then we just started dumping them. So that was kind of handy because we could actually do multiple, or at least now I understand how I can do multiple sets, small sets. Because I still have quite a bit of stuff that's like one set that we just picked up on clearance over the course of the years. That it's like, oh, that's on clearance. I got one. We'll pick it up or whatever. Thinking, someday I'll put it in the Bricklink store, not knowing that if you're not parting out 5, 6, 10 sets at a time,
I don't like parting out less than 3.
Yeah.
And some people don't like parting out less than 5 or 6, but
right.
I mean, even 2's but you get those sets. What are you going to do with them?
I mean,
you're not going to not buy them, and then you're like,
they're going in. They're going in one way or another.
I've got a whole stack of that.
And there are some sets that will have an awesome part out value that I just look at it and I'm like, no, I don't want to part that out. And some of them are the idea sets, like the Treehouse. That one, new, full retail price, has an awesome part out value, but it's so many pieces.
Yeah.
And the Sesame Street set, it's got a great part out value.
Yeah, I've got
a ridiculous number of pieces. I'm like 600 or 700 different pieces.
Yeah, I've got 3 sets those Marvel sets, and they're like they're right around 1,000 pieces, and I just keep putting them because I haven't parted out anything that big, and it's so many damn lots.
And when you get into the hundreds and hundreds of lots, that's when it's monotonous to part out.
Yeah. Right now, because we're on the last row of empty drawers, but I'll use the drawer. We have those little tubs. It's the same ones you guys talked about before using it. And I can get about 200 of those on our table, what we call the stock room, anything, and part out. So you get anything over 200, now you're looking at logistics. You're having to try to figure out how to not lose something. And
the thing that I do, like I said, is you get those tubs and you start nesting them by color.
Yeah.
So when you get to bag 2,
yep.
You pull the whites out, and so you kind of spread the whites out, and then.
Well, that's what and then you hope you don't spill them or knock them over.
Yeah, and then you don't need 200 of them.
Now I can pull the drawers out, and I can get probably 1,000 drawers on the table. Maybe not quite that, but maybe 600. I don't know. You get a bunch of them on there, but then now you got a whole bunch of little slots you're trying to go through and see, did I already put this in one or not? But I'm going to run out of drawers. Eventually, I won't have the empty drawer. I'll finally fill up this side and I'll be done. So at least that's the plan.
So you're the expert. When you're adding parts to your drawers, you always put all your empty drawers in like a box or in a corner or somewhere.
We have a box under the table, and so she'll usually put them in that box. If that box gets full, which surprisingly it fills up quick. I mean, I'm always so proud when I have every drawer has something in it, and then within a week I got like 50 empty drawers because there's a lot of drawers that only got a handful, like 2 or 3, 4, 5 parts in them. Somebody just buys them all. They'll just buy them all.
But you don't part out into the drawers, though.
No, I don't. I used to, but now that I got like 200 plus of those cups, I just use the cups, and then I part them out. We usually part out upstairs.
Yeah.
And I'll go down and put everything on the table. I got it stacked like by color, like you were saying. I got all the blacks and then blue. I try to go alphabetically. It's alphabetical by the colors, just like on
right.
Yes.
Yeah. And so. I mean, you could try to arrange it where you were putting it in by the drawer number, but that's not far for me to walk. It works out so. And putting them in those cups, oh my goodness, it's unreal how much time it has saved me versus scooping them out of those trays. So yeah, I just that's in drawer 2301. I just take it over there, dump it in there.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
super easy.
Heather found a tray at Office Depot. It looks like it's a money tray, but it's not. I can't. Well, it's way over there.
That one that's got the round center in it.
It's got a round center in it, yeah. But all of the compartments are rounded on the bottom. Some are rounded more than others. Some are rounded like a change drawer, but the other. And she likes it. I haven't used it. I don't pick orders. But she likes it because
that's below your pay rate.
Part them out. So, but yeah, just for when she's picking them, she can pick them out that way. So,
I got a Bricklink question then now for you. You just started. Mm-hmm. Everything, your inventory's good. At least you haven't found any mistakes yet.
We haven't found any mistakes in the inventory yet, but I did make a shipping mistake. So
you didn't ship it to the wrong person
already?
Oh my gosh! So So 2 stories there. We shipped a part. It was shutters, and they didn't get a shutter. Okay, so I shipped them another shutter, and they're happy and everything. And I think I gave them the 12 cents back or whatever, and I sent them the shutter because I was like, oh my gosh, I can't, like the first 3 orders, I can't have a screw up like that, right? So, what was the other? Again, this is one of those deals where me and Heather are both doing stuff. She was picking orders and putting them together and putting them in the envelopes, and I was helping her. And all of a sudden, we ended up with 2 envelopes and 2 labels, and it's like, uh-oh, now what? Because I didn't know we just about shipped the wrong stuff to the wrong person.
Mm-hmm.
So I had 2 people mad at me.
The other night,
we've done that where we were both picking orders, and then somehow we ended up mixing parts from 2 different orders together. Then you got to separate everything, but you got to catch those before you put the labels on them and mail them. But yeah, I've mixed 2 orders up before. Usually we are picking one at a time.
The other night, I had somebody. They had a pretty big order, and they were buying everything I had, and then if I got to where I had a couple hundred, they'd buy like 100. So I brought the bucket to my wife, and I said, I'd count these. It's supposed to be like 130 something. Just make sure they're right while I pick the rest of the order. So she counts it, and it's 132. So she counts it again, it's 132. So I go and find another piece. Luckily, it was a common piece. Put it in there, dump it in. I get ready to mail it, and she gets out of her chair, and she says, look, you missed one. So I opened the package up. I already had the label on it. I cut it neat, put it in there, then sealed it back up because I don't know if that's one she counted or one she was missing.
Right.
Yeah, I hate that when you've sealed everything up and then later you find a piece on the table or on the floor and you're like, oh, when did that get there? So you have Joey, you just starting. You probably haven't had this happen yet. I don't know if you've had it happen, but I've had it happen several times where you just end up losing something. Like you didn't write the remark down correctly.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't had it happen yet.
When you put it away, you put it in the wrong drawer, and now it's missing.
Yep, and my store is not as big as yours, so sometimes I can just start and check every drawer.
Yeah.
Because it's not as big as yours. And
it's bigger, that became a problem. And I found a trick, and now I got to go back and teach myself how to do it again because I didn't write down the steps to it. But one of the problems I had is I wanted to search like numerically through the remarks, all drawer, everything, just numerically. That way, if you could look through the first 100, and if you only got 99, one of them's missing. And then you can find which ones, because I would have some that didn't have a remark, but I didn't know where they were. And so I went through all 5,000 something drawers, all the boxes when I had a time when they were all full, and I looked for ones that were missing. And those missing ones, I would go to them, and sure enough, there was my missing piece. I've ended up finding like 10 lots that I've had missing for years. But I had to sort my remark, and since I have minifigures, gear, stickers, it's like when you sorted by remarks, at first I could only do it by like type, like parts, and those missing drawers, I thought, well, there could be a minifigure in that drawer, it's just not showing up. But I finally found a way to do my entire store by remarks. I think I had to do by not condition, but I can't remember what the category was. And that's what's bugging me because it took me a while to figure it out. But I could search all of my remarks. And then so that way, if anything was missing in the remarks, I knew that was something in that drawer. It's just I didn't have a remark.
Every time I've done it, it's because I transposed the numbers in the remarks.
Oh, yeah. The remark was incorrect, too.
Yeah.
I would find, yeah. My wife's actually found some of those where it would be like trying to think of a number that you would transpose, but like I say 1360, and she goes to 1360. This is the wrong part, and then she'll find it in 1368 or 1369, something like that, where you just typed it wrong.
Right. But I've had a problem where they'll want 8. And I'll open the drawer and I'll count 8. and I still have 4 in there, and I'll count it again, and I still have 4 in there, and it's happened like several times. So I'll click that part and I'll add those extra 4 in.
You have to. That depends. If you're actually got other orders, sometimes it could be in the order you haven't picked yet.
Right, but that's
if you don't,
the case.
then you've got these extra parts, and so sometimes those inventories on Bricklink, they're not right.
Yeah.
And I think that's where some of those mistakes come in. I always go back to the Wolverine and Deadpool helicopter. There are 2 different inventories for that set. And if you just uploaded by whatever the regular inventory is without checking what you actually had, your quantities would be wrong.
We try to check the quantities when we're putting them up, but every once in a while you'll get one that's it's got a whole bunch of the same part in it. And it's like you sit there and count it or not. We should.
I try to make sure with rare parts that the quantity's right, but the common parts, like Earl said earlier, I'll just go find another one.
So look, I was thinking about this the other day. I was pulling an order, and do you ever put stuff in your store and it sells so quick that you want to go find some more to part out? Or do you not worry about it?
Yeah, tiles and 1x2 plates. Some of those sell.
Everybody likes the tile stuff now, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's well, the first 4 orders that we had were all minifigs. And I kind of was like, uh-oh. I got the prices wrong, but they were, and I didn't get it. They were in the average. They were not the cheapest. They were not the most expensive. And that's all they bought was minifigs. One guy bought one minifig, and it wasn't, and that's another thing. I don't know how he got there. How he found my store. I didn't recognize him as somebody I knew or whatever, but he somehow he bought one minifig that wasn't the cheapest minifig. I am over half of the people that are buying from me have less than 25 for their rating.
Yeah.
I got some that are, higher, but it's all brand new people. More than half.
So you can have a setting on there where you can limit that, and there may be bigger stores that limit who can buy from them.
Right.
I get a lot of that too. I get a lot of 0 feedback people. There are so many people added to Bricklink each day.
Right.
It's crazy.
Well, so I thought, I know you could, I have it set that no negative feedback. So if they have a negative,
well, you froze and then real quick.
Oh, I looked normal from my point of view.
Yes.
But me and Heather talked about it. It's like, well, if we have the money from PayPal already, what's the harm in letting people they got to get there somehow, right? They got to get the rating up somehow. And I as long as they've paid me, and
I think once they pay you. Oh, but speaking of payment, so have you done the eBay thing yet? Have you done it?
So I got an eBay story for you.
So I did the eBay thing because I dabble. So I did the eBay thing, and let me tell you, you sell something on eBay now, it doesn't put your money in a bank. You sell it today, tomorrow you get an email and it says it's sending you your funds. And with it, it's like I'll get a deposit for $7, another deposit for $7, then a deposit. Every item I sell, I get a separate deposit. It's crazy.
It is
so
crazy.
You can set up where you would only get it like once a week.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm wondering if that's if you have a store or if I just got to go into settings and manipulate.
Have more options. I don't have a store, but
yeah.
Okay, so I've been doing eBay for 21 years.
Mm-hmm.
It's always been some payment system or money. It was money orders and checks back in the day, and then it was Point, and then PayPal, and then when it got to PayPal, it was like almost everybody's PayPal, and then they got where you could only use PayPal. or if you had a credit card processing thing you could do. But so they just switched it, all right, to this, what you were talking about, where you have to give them your checking account.
Yeah.
And so my son,
it's just like PayPal.
my son got scammed because he didn't have his password got hacked, and they took the money came from his checking account. And that's how he found out, was his checking account went to zero. And we investigated, and it was PayPal through eBay. And so it was eBay taking it out of his checking account. But anyway, I've been using PayPal, and there's that buffer there for me. That's that security level. If I get scammed, they're only getting it from PayPal.
Well, but it's I've bought something and I still paid out of PayPal. I didn't pay out of my checking account. So you still use PayPal to pay.
Do it either way. If you have funds in PayPal, you can pay through PayPal.
Right.
So this is the thing. So I sold a Playmobil set, and it went to a guy in Miami, Florida, and he emailed me through, or he messaged me through the eBay system and said, "Hey, where is this package?" So I sent him the tracking. I said, "It says it's available for pickup." So I said, to me, I said that means it's probably at your post office. They probably didn't want to leave it outside your house or your business, and so you got to go pick it up. He said, "Well, can you call them and redirect it?" I said, "No, I'm not the person receiving the package." I said, "You are the one receiving the package." I didn't say it like that. I typed it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "You have to call your post office. It's your mail carrier." I said, "This is," and then he said, "No, I can't do that. You got to do that because you sent it to me." I was like, "No." I said, "What you're telling me is your mail carrier is like, 'Hey, Mr. So-and-so, I got your package for you. I need you to sign for it.' And you're like, 'No, I need the guy who sent it to sign for it.'" I'm like, you got to. I was getting so frustrated because he said, "Well, it's in the city. I can't go to the city." I said, "Well, call them. Find out who your mail carrier is and tell them you will have somebody there available to pick it up or sign for it." Well, he ended up getting it. So I was like relieved, but it was like, oh my God, this guy's not going to pick up his package. Then he's going to do a thing where he can get his money back, and it's going to come out of my checking account.
Yeah.
But it ended up working out, and I was like, okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't want that. I wouldn't want people to be able to just pull money back out of my checking account. No.
Because that's what happened to me with BillPoint, which was eBay's original payment system. I had the package that that was a stolen credit card, but yeah, they just yanked that money right out. So it's like, don't want that be in my checking account.
Oh,
sorry, I can get into. I get talkative. I'm sorry.
No, that's what this is for.
Earl fired me up, man. Mentioned that.
I'm good at that.
I was going to say, you think he did that on purpose?
I wasn't even going to talk about it, and he brought it up.
So, I did want to talk to you about your new layout, right? Not your new layout, your city, but your new effort to build a layout with no trains in it.
I was gonna, you know what? I'm glad you brought that up because I wanted to have the same conversation. You got to at least have a loop in it.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you,
too much space.
I was gonna say I'll let you off the hook because a train and the modulars, a train is terrible waste of space if you're trying to set up.
Yeah.
You're trying to set up a city with the modular setup, and then I'm using the wide radius track. You want to talk about cutting a wide swath through your city of just dead space? But are you still thinking about doing the L gauge modules?
I would like to make a module to take to shows at some point. I don't know how that would connect to what I have here. If it'll be just something I store to the side,
right?
Not in the actual city part.
So here's what I was thinking for your loop, so you don't have the wasted space. you know how you talked about on one side doing that upper level? Why don't you take both sides where the curve goes and make your upper level on both sides so the curve goes under just on both sides, so that way your upper level you could have modulars or whatever, and the train would go under it just around, so your dead space would be underneath underneath you have something on top.
So I did think of that after, when people were like in shock that I had said that. So if we made just that enough to clear your tallest train,
Yeah, just on both ends.
and then build on top of that, and then just have your loops, and then just have like maybe in the back, just where it's just the straight. That's all you see is the straight tracks.
Yeah, on the front and the back. Yeah, you see the straights, but you don't see the circle.
Yeah, you got to make sure you have access to it for derailments.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll think about it.
Well, I've been thinking about doing, because I know you talked about doing doing a module for the L gauge, and I think me and you talked about it at Brick Fair, Alabama, so many years ago. I think you mentioned about doing the curves, because then you could always
the corner.
Yeah,
nobody else will really want to make.
Right, but I was thinking there's also the dog bone layout. So the L gauge module is 2 trains, right? So you have the 2 main lines,
2 loops at the end.
You two loops at the end, and if you had those, because that's what I'm thinking is I want to build a dog bone. Same theory you had is if you have the dog bone, then anybody could put anything in between them. Now you won't be running one. You won't have 2 trains running. You'll have one in a loop, but it still meets the L gauge standard or the Mills plate standard or whatever. But it's a thought to if we ever get to go back to these and we ever get to end up at the same show, it would be an interesting thing that's an interesting way of doing it versus a giant racetrack or whatever, like Hoosier and Christopher Bricks, all them guys do. Those are great. I love them, but you talk about it's much easier to do a single 3x3 module for people than to have to try to plan out multiple, and then coordinate with other, even though the standard's there, you still have to coordinate. You can't just, you got to be able to make the circle. And I think the dog bone is very unique idea, the around and back and around and back.
Yeah, you could have as little as 1 module in between the 2 dog bones.
You could.
Whereas a loop, you would have to have enough, at least 4.
You would, well,
you don't even have to have any. But if you could have 4 corner modules, they would all be touching. Nobody could get in between them.
Right. It'd be the world's smallest layout.
Or you can get those switches like you have and just have a back and forth. That switch that you have on your fancy train.
Yep.
Have a back and forth train.
That's kind of what the dog bone would look like, except it's gonna circle around and come back. I got one of the switches, and I know this isn't in the thing at all, but I got one of the switches that the third party. Man, which one was it? It's the one that are 3D printed. I've only had it for a few months, and the trains are already wearing it out.
Huh?
The trains are wearing it out.
Oh.
In fact, one of my steam engines won't go through it anymore because the leading truck is pushed.
Yeah.
Right. So when it goes through, it wobbles and will want to derail because the 3D printing is wearing out.
Yeah, the 3D printing is a problem, I think. I know some of the ones I got would break pretty easy too, so I can see them wearing out quick. I asked, was Glenn on here with us? Glenn Holland? Was that?
Yeah.
Remember, I asked him because I was like, "Do you ever have the tracks wear out?" And he said no, but they're using
Lego Track.
Yeah, they're either using Lego Track because of using the grand curves with the straight tracks.
Right.
So I don't think a lot of stuff runs through their custom switches and stuff.
Yeah, and I think some of the custom switches they have are the 3D printed and some of the others too. And I don't know. Did you see the FX bricks? PF bricks? I guess it's PF bricks, isn't it?
I hate you.
Huh?
I hate you.
Yeah, I didn't
I
know
didn't see it, but now I did.
I'm telling you, I'm thinking about when they come out. I'm thinking about putting the wide radius because I think they're going to make
What's the minimum radius for the L gauge? Isn't it 90?
What is the minimum?
Yeah, the minimum curve radius on the L gauge.
I think anything above Lego standard. I don't think they go down. They show all the way down to R56.
Okay.
R40 is standard.
Okay. So they're going to start you said it's PF bricks?
Yeah,
They're going to start with the R72 9-volt track?
I think so, yeah.
How expensive are these going to be?
They're not released yet. They're just still showing them as, you know.
They got to be more than the power functions one.
Well, if you're not making a train layout, then you don't need it.
Yeah, I don't have to worry about it.
What are you worried about?
They just tweeted January 13th that they're packaging it up. They're starting to inspect and package. So some people are getting it.
It amazes me what people will buy because I know Glenn was showing off the stuff he got that he designed from Brick. Did Charlie just blow some hair by me? The Brickmania trains.
Right.
And oh my goodness, the locomotive was so expensive. It's like I want to buy one, but I said I can't afford that. I was like, it was more than the Brick Model Railroader locomotive.
Well, I think Brickmania stuff is pretty expensive anyway. The tanks, the helicopters, and all that. I mean, you know, you're starting to talk about
those parts from Bricklink sellers like us.
Right.
That's an expensive process. So I can see why they cost more.
Oh, I get why they cost more. Yeah, but you know, you talk about a tank costing $300, $400, $500, depending on which. It's like, wow, you got to really be into that.
Things would sell out quick, but the trains, the good ones, the better ones, they sold out pretty quick. I don't know how many they had though.
There's the thing, right? If they sold out 5 of them, that's a whole lot. That's a lot different than if they sold out 500 of them.
Yeah,
or,
that is true.
Or if you get into Lego, you know, you expect Lego to have 10 or 20,000 of them immediately.
Even if they're just doing, say, 10, that's a lot of parts to source.
It's a lot of parts to source.
I'm still waiting on my my Reading T1. It's been almost 2 years now, but everything's kind of they've had some problems with just I think one of the specialty bricks that they're getting made for it.
Yeah, I worry about, especially if they're 3D printed. I just worry about the durability on that. I don't know what they're waiting on. I know that
it's been several years ago, but I remember somebody say, "Aren't you worried now that Lego's going to stopped being made because we just use 3D printers?" And I have yet to see anything 3D printed that was like super quality. It's neat. It looks cool.
No, I one of the guys at work is 3D printing a Mandalorian helmet, and when he started, he got the 3D printer, and I'm like, I said, you know, you just can't print that, right? And it's going to look right. He goes, oh yeah. Well, months later, he's sanding and filling and painting. I mean, he always knew he was going to have to paint it, but he's like, oh yeah. He said, man, that's. He said, even on the highest level, you still see all the little layers and stuff.
And I don't. And as far as you know, one of the reasons the cost is so high is because of the production time. I mean, it takes like what was my buddy saying? He's saying it takes like hours to do something.
So it's not they make the masks, they spit them out in a couple of seconds. You know, you ever seen the little mask maker on Mission Impossible where they'll scan and they'll make a mask of it in like 30 seconds and then they put it on and they're that person all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Just so we know I wasn't lying, there's that racer set.
Oh, you did have it. It's like Cheerios.
It was just sitting right there. I looked over it like 3 times. Yep. Oh well.
My favorite book.
That is a good book. We want to do comments? I think we got a few.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. We should do that.
We're fine.
I remember we almost didn't know if we had anything to talk about this episode.
Wait, I gotta find them. Give me a
Always
second.
be worried. They're in the notes, Earl, if you want.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Okay, I found them. Will Harper. I always watch Jabo, but never had time to watch this before. You have a great show and a new fan to watch every time. Thanks. Thank you, Will Harper.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
thanks for coming over to Brick Trains.
Yeah, we have a good time doing this. Another one from Will Harper. Definitely changes the meaning of late breaking news. LOL.
Yeah. I think that may apply to some of the things we talked about today.
Yeah.
WV Curls. When you guys buy Bricklink from overseas sellers, do you look for particular countries to buy from to get the cheapest shipping prices, or just bite the bullet and buy from whoever overseas that is the cheapest, that has the most pieces you want? Do you ever compare if a U.S. seller or sellers who may have higher prices would ultimately be cheaper due to shipping? Well, I don't think I've ever bought Bricklink from overseas. I don't think I have.
I have.
Well, I know.
So, yeah, I usually buy from U.S. sellers just so I don't have to deal with the shipping. And speaking of that, I've had 2 orders from Bricklink from a seller in Germany. Both of them were in Germany. They were both ordered in November. The post office just now hit customs in New Jersey.
Oh, those are from November?
From November.
What country?
Germany.
Germany? Okay. I feel better then.
So something either something with the pandemic or something caused 2 months, 3 months of holdup.
Yeah. So I think because I got one from November and then an eBay from November also that I'm waiting on. And I think at some point they were just sitting stuff on a dock, and then they were going to put it on a boat. And so some stuff was literally just sitting and not going anywhere.
I think that's
especially if it was shipped DHL. DHL was like the one, because I would like order stuff from other sellers and it would come in a week or 2 sometimes. And then you get these ones.
Yeah, no, I've had multiple orders.
I'm pretty sure you mentioned in some hauls that you do that. Is it cheaper just to buy overseas because of the quantities versus?
Yeah, Jacob wanted a blue Travis brick, the 1x1 with the studs on all 4 sides.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I couldn't find anybody in the U.S. selling them, but I could find a guy in Europe, in Germany, that had hundreds of them for like a few cents. So just buy several hundred of them, bring them over here,
and put them in your store.
Yeah, and put a few. I put like 20 in my store. Yeah. That would more than pay for what I paid for all the rest of them.
See, I've never run into that yet, where I couldn't find like a Travis bricks. That's a common brick. I guess the color was what was difficult for it, but usually when I'm looking for something that I have to go all the way overseas for, it's, something like this instruction set.
Yeah.
So
I do buy a lot of things that to get them in the quantity that I want, I usually have to look at sellers. I've wiped out a lot of the parts for the tipper truck.
Yeah.
We've got a couple of stores but the prices are getting high. So I've got my cart. I got like 19 shopping carts filled up that I haven't clicked on. I'm like, well, I got to see if they have anything else I want to add to it, because you're going to be buying $25 worth of parts, and it's going to cost $25 to ship them.
So whenever you get those instructions, does it say with holes or without holes?
Actually, I wish this one had said with hole.
Oh my goodness!
Wow.
So I wasn't exactly happy, but I don't know. I paid, I think $3 for the instructions and like 14 to ship it here.
Oh,
Something
that's
silly.
crazy.
It is. It was
Yeah,
crazy.
that is crazy.
And then it had a hole
For anybody that's thinking of buying from sellers, there are a lot of them that will tell you the price at checkout, and I tend to buy more from those. And I also try, but it's not always possible. I try to avoid the ones that add the PayPal fee.
Yeah.
And I've been told from some sellers in Europe that it's actually against the law now for them to even do it. They used to say that they could do it because it was allowed, but yeah, I don't think you're supposed to tack on the PayPal fee.
That would be a terms of service thing from PayPal, right? I would imagine.
Maybe not against the law, but yeah, against the terms of service. Yeah.
Okay. Mayo for commenting on Jabo channels. Bionicle, Hero Factory, Sliver, Robots. I don't even know what that is.
Writers.
Robo Raiders. Robo Ridders. Robo Raiders. What's the difference? Yep.
Oh, so I think he commented on the wrong video. That was one of Yoda's videos.
I kind of think it was, yeah.
You mean Yoda the jerk?
Yeah, Yoda. I want Yoda to be an equal opportunity jerk. So I'm going to have him make fun of Star Wars fans.
Sun Killer J.
Tachikawa.
Bionicle Hero Factory. Pff, nah, where were my Throwbots people at? The disc and the ship cases were so cool.
I don't remember the robots. I mean, I've seen it since then, but I don't remember it in the stores.
I think I had some of those discs.
Those
are one of those things that's hard to figure out. What set did this go to?
Kelly,
ever played with them?
No, I've never owned them, never played with them, nothing.
Kelly Jones says, how many orange spacemen do each of you have, and does Mardi Gras Man even care about Classic Space? I love Classic Space. I have all the spacemen except the orange one. One of the reasons I don't have a lot of sets is because, like Jabo sold all his castle sets, I sold all my Classic Space sets. And now to get them back, it's kind of a little too pricey to go the Joey route.
Mm-hmm.
Well, a lot of my space I've got because of bulk lots, but yeah, I have one, by the way, and it's in the book.
Yeah, I don't have one because I didn't.
One.
I just keep waiting. I keep waiting for it to show up in this this set that we're going to get for Classic Space next year. Yeah, so I think that's it.
Oh, it is it. That's it. Oh, you missed.
Did I miss one?
Zaner Waddle. The
penguin. Oh, I did. Zaner Waddle, the penguin. I want to see a video of Classic Space. Well, Joey actually has a video showcasing Space in his showcase.
I probably need to do an update on that.
Yes, and that was back from the days when we were wondering why the channel was called Brick Train.
Yeah, you got to get back on doing your hauls again.
Yeah, I got to look at it, and if I don't, I need to do some videos, because right now I think there's only been one video up since the last A-Full podcast. So if this one comes out and I don't do another video in between, I'm going to be very disappointed in myself. I actually have plans to do the time cruisers, and those, I have all those sets, and no, I don't have two of each.
When you were doing the studios, it seemed like when the further it got, the more you were like, man, I can't wait for this to get over.
Did you tell? They're sitting over there all piled up, stacked in the order I'm going to do. I got to, and it's like the stack never went down. It was like, how many of these were there? Yeah. And now Jabo's got me. I kind of want to do a layout, but I did like 1 or 2 layout videos, and it could just simply be because they were terrible videos, and they were terrible videos, but they were like the worst performing. And I say I don't care about the views. I do. I want people to watch it, but I thought, man, if like nobody watches it, if I get like 60 views after a couple weeks and those got like 10, I was like, oh, there's obviously the people watching my videos are not watching for me to do a train layout.
Don't call it a train layout. Call it a Lego City.
And you probably are right on right there. Yeah. Yeah. Because people, and I probably did do that. I probably called it a train layout because that's what I think.
Yeah.
Have we missed the haul with the Spider-Man set, or is that one scheduled to come up?
Mine?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where's that one at?
Did we miss that one?
Let me see here. I'll tell you, I was like 9 or 10 days ahead, and I've had some stuff come up, so they're starting to catch up to real time.
Uh-oh.
Let me see. Spider-Man. Actually, I don't even know which. Oh, it's the next video. It's tomorrow. So by the time people see this, it would be like a week old.
Yeah. Imagine that.
For you two, to be tomorrow.
I didn't realize that you were that far ahead. Look, because you watch some of them and you would think, okay, that just happened yesterday. Well, maybe he did 3 videos yesterday and he just changed his shirt and he scheduled the next 2.
Yeah, there are some days that I film 2 or 3 videos. And then I'll skip a day, or I'll do 2 videos like several days in a row. And I haven't filmed. I filmed a video tonight right before we filmed our video, but I hadn't done anything like in 3 or 4 days before that. But I still have a video every day posted.
See, here, I'm going to show you something. Hang on just real quick. I don't know how this is going to look on the screen, but that's all my videos. Yeah, it's terrible, isn't it? But there you can see I have several of them up there that I have planned to do. And
is this just these aren't filmed? These are just your plans.
Well, if they're green, those are already passed.
Okay.
Man.
These ones that are in the yellow up there, they're ones that I've planned to do.
Okay.
This guy's official.
Oh, I am disorganized. If I did not do something like this,
I go one day, like I'm off tomorrow. I might do a video or 2, schedule them out. I've got those Thursday videos scheduled for I think I got 4 more scheduled.
Right.
And
Well, and that's where I'm at right now. And it looks like,
and then Jabo told me to do hauls every chance you get, and sometimes it seems like that's all I do is hauls.
Yeah.
I haven't had a lot of, well, it seems like the stuff that I've done in haul that we've been buying here lately has been going to the Bricklink store, and I don't really want to turn the channel into a Bricklink channel. I say that, I don't mind. I've told Heather she could do Pablo's if somebody requests them, but nobody's requested them, and that's okay. And I think she would do them, but I don't. I think the people who watch my channel are looking for the more vintage stuff. Like people that watch yours, Jabo, you have a personality, and there's a whole ethos around you that I think you attract a lot of different people, not just specifically to trains or specifically to vintage or whatever. So.
Yeah, I say yeah, like yeah. I just realized. Well, I didn't just realize, but like when I would just talk about a set, and then I would go back and watch the video, I would be like, "Oh, this is boring." And so if I just talk about whatever, and if it's almost like if it's just completely random, or just whatever I think of at that moment, it's actually, to me, is more interesting.
Right.
I actually wrote out a script and went into detail.
Well, see, and that's why I never call any of them reviews, right? Because I think if I say a review, then there's a certain expectation there that I'm going to judge this set at some level. And like the studio sets, I'm not judging them. You're not going to go buy them now. They're collector's things. So to me, it's just a show and tell. Hey, here's what I got. And I kind of got into and again, you saw it, Earl. I got to a point where I felt like I needed to give all the details, that somehow I fell into that trap feeling like I was trying to review these versus, hey, look at this cool set. This is what I think about it, and here's what it does, and have a little bit of fun with it. And I lost having fun with it doing that.
Don't do that.
Was it the last one or the second one of the one that went like 30 something minutes?
Yeah, was that the one with the
Spider-Man, the wrestling? Yeah, I was like, man, I've been waiting for this one. Then I saw 30 minutes. I was like, whew, I got this might take
time for this.
So what did you think when you saw a video of mine that was 59 minutes long?
Well, actually, what I did was when I go to lunch, I usually don't turn the radio on. I listen to that. I look at the videos, and while I'm sitting eating, I'll watch videos, or if I'm driving, I'll listen to that radio show. And so it just happened to see premiere, and I looked at it, and I actually saw Joey make a comment. And I was like, I don't have time, because when you've done live streams, you're like 17, 18 minutes. Like, I don't have time. Then when I got off work, I clicked it on, and it was an hour. I was like, an hour? Well, this is like a podcast. So I just started listening to it on the way home from work. Then I started cooking, and I was like, man, it's been an hour.
Hey, so you want to know how? I'll give you a story of that if you don't mind. I know we're already almost 2 hours tonight.
All right.
So I filmed it. I was going to I was like, okay, I'm just going to film the whole thing. I didn't do it like time lapse. I just hit record.
Right.
So me building those. I didn't know how long it was going to take. And I knew after I did 20, I was like, I built 20, and then I went over to see what time it was. And I'm like, oh my goodness, it's going to take forever. And so I was like, I can always speed it up later, but I really hate time lapses.
Yeah.
I hate my own time lapses, I should say. And then I was like, I should do like the answering the questions that people had over that. I was in bed. that was record. I was literally went to bed, got my microphone, and I would look at somebody's question and just recorded it on my phone, and then splice that audio. That's exactly what I did.
That's awesome.
I know. It is.
Hey, you had me fooled.
And everybody thought it was live.
That's why it had me fooled, because I was listening to it while I was driving. And then I got home. I paused it, went, changed, got everything ready. Then I started watching it again. And then he comes up and says, I'm talking over, in case you didn't know. You think I can build this one? I'm like, well, okay.
Well, at first I thought, how far behind am I? You're talking about a comment, and I'm looking through the comments. Where's that? Where do you?
I inadvertently did what I've always wanted to do: make a video on demand, and people think it's live. So, yeah.
So have you looked? I mean, it sounds stupid that you keep saying it's the world's largest. Can you submit that? You have video evidence. Can you? I don't know how that works.
I don't know how that works. I mean, I'm sure everybody that's ever got a Guinness Book of World Record, they're like, "Hey, we got this record," and the Guinness people come over and like, "Okay, yeah, let's verify." Okay, yeah, I don't see nobody else, because there are record. Okay, you know the Firewalk. The Lego bricks. One of those dude perfect. They walked over like 100 and something feet of, I don't know. It wasn't very far.
Right.
And that was the Guinness Book of World Record. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. I've seen people walk for hours on these bricks at a show, but nobody was like doing it for a world record. They were just doing it to see who could do it the longest and win a prize.
Right.
Those guys did it for a minute and a half, and that's the world record. That's ridiculous.
Right.
And so my whole point of that is I don't think there's much to a Guinness World Record. I think it's just whoever does it, and will they come in?
And then if it's in the book, you go through a process to try to get somebody to verify you breaking a record.
Yeah.
And I do know if something's too dangerous, they won't put it in there because they don't want somebody to, maybe it's too dangerous to collect that many tipper trucks.
The world's most. Oh, wait a minute. That's another motto. We have the world's most dangerous tipper truck. So, I've been planning to do more with these tipper trucks. They need to fight some of the Star Wars things, so that'll be a thing. But you can't go buy 78 of these from anybody.
No.
I think the most tippers that anybody has now is like 30.
For sale, you mean?
Well, yeah. Like there's 300 and something different people that have them, but yeah. I'm going to try to like do a thing where I at least get something each month.
My favorite part of the video was at the almost at the end. You said, "Now what am I going to do with these? Where am I going to go?"
I didn't think this through.
The guy, I don't know who it was, but whoever said you needed a bumper sticker that says "My other vehicle's a tipper truck."
It was beautiful. I never think of in terms of merch.
Right.
These two ideas came from you guys, people.
What
you did here with this logo and putting it on a shirt, and then the bumper sticker guy. I'm like, and you know what's crazy, and maybe it's just because it's normal photography, but this is like the way you positioned it is what I pictured in my mind.
Really?
Yeah, it's kind of at that little bit of an angle,
little off center.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, I can't Kevin Hinkle. I can't art, but I can slap some stuff together. So.
You can Photoshop, huh?
I guess. I don't know. It looks kind of.
I mean, just think of that. You could have a one right here on your chest, or you could have it on your back, real big.
I'm telling you, you get your shirt store going and merch. I'll be your first customer.
Yeah.
Well, I probably won't be because you have plenty of followers that will jump on that.
Yeah.
How did this even happen? This is
you tried to trick us with a live stream. That's how it happened.
Oh.
I don't know. I don't know how you got started on the tipper trucks other than you got one when you were a kid. But
when you film your next video, you could talk about your hopefully merch shop coming. By the time you see this video, it might be in motion.
So in end of December, I made a promise,
right,
to my and it's an unnecessary thing, but I don't ask for subscribers in my videos. I don't ask to like the video, and I don't ask to buy from my Bricklink store or the merch. Now, I may at some point offer like that little join button. I've had that thing configured for like 4 or 5 months. I've never enabled it like where you can see it. It's there, the stuff. And if I put the merch shelf or like the Teespring stuff, it'll probably be just like in the description.
Well, I was gonna say on my because I don't have, I'm only at 600 viewers, so I can't do any of the extra little frilly stuff on YouTube, but I can put the link up there in my banner and the YouTube banner. So, I mean, you could just do that for Spreadshirt or whatever the TeePublic, whichever.
Oh, you know what's gonna be good is get one in an off color, and when you wear it on the video, you could just say, "Well, this is my tipper truck shirt." And I can't ever wear this one again.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh my, yeah, you're gonna have to get a whole bunch of colors.
And then you're gonna get all these questions. Where did that come from?
Yeah,
telling you,
it's like the reverse psychology here. So, coincidence today. So, yesterday my wife cleaned out the closet, Goodwill stuff.
Yeah.
Came home and I was like, there were some shirts in there.
Oh no! Oh no!
Some of those work shirts you were talking about wearing?
It was mostly like either button-up shirts or dress shirts or polo shirts. Not the typical things that I've been using, but I was like, I did have, but so I have, even if I wasn't going to wear those shirts ever again, I was like, if I get low on shirts, I can just go to this plain shirts as long as they're all noticeably different from the other.
Yeah.
But now I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, so I sat down to watch Seinfeld today. Hadn't watched it in a while.
If I was gonna tell you this the other day, I bet you I know where you're going.
Well, I mentioned you at the end of my video because I said Earl's going to know this reference because I wear a shirt in the video I filmed today.
You only have to do the wash one time a year.
So you know what episode I'm referring to?
It's the one with the laundry with the underwear.
It's a different one.
It's George's underwear though.
Oh, this one had to do with actually it had to involve a T-shirt.
Oh, that's Golden Boy.
Yes,
Golden Boy. He's the first one out of the wash.
I knew the episode, but I didn't remember the Golden Boy and then Baby Blue at the end.
Yeah. Golden Boy. He's the Iron Man. But see, George, there's an episode where they're talking about the laundry, and George's dream is to have 352 pair of underwear, so he only has to do the wash one time a year.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
350. I got to find that one now. I wonder what. So,
are you ever going to wear a puffy pirate shirt?
If somebody, I might. To keep from going topless.
Well,
we've gotten way out in left field.
Yeah.
I get talkative when I'm tired. Well, we hope you've enjoyed the discussion today here on the A Fool podcast. If you're a fan of old Lego like us, then be sure to subscribe and follow these other guys here too. Brick Trains, Mardi Gras Man, and I'm Brick Czar. I can promote myself on your channel, right?
You can.
All right. So, and we'll be back in a couple of weeks with another discussion. If you have anything you want us to talk about, let us know in the comments below.
Yes.
Let us know what you think about those 2001 sets. Are they really is Bionicle like the lifesaver that everybody says it is? And what do you think about these weird things that we show you, like the remote control car thing? I hope you enjoyed seeing that. But yeah, that's the real thing. Maybe Joey can bring it to a show and you can see it in person. I'll keep looking for mine. I don't know where it is, but yeah, we'll be back again. And what was the show about? I forgot. Oh yeah, this was A Fool Podcast, and see you guys in the next one.
See you guys.